Hello Taurus, this is your month and I'm giving you the prediction for May 2016. I'm Lada from Astrolada.com. Sorry for the bit late videos. I've been sick for a month and my voice, you can still hear it. Hopefully I don't disrupt the reading with coughing too much. But let's have an overview for everyone who have their ascendant, sun or moon in Taurus. What is happening for May? Well, it's time for new beginnings for you. Especially, even if it's their ascendant only, or the sun sign, the sun is transiting the sign of your ascendant or your sun, and this is revitalizing you for new beginnings of some sort. So many of you will be getting, as always, around the birthday. If you probably look back in the past, you notice how the month before your birthday, maybe you're feeling a bit low, maybe you're feeling a bit more down, less energetic, less motivated, maybe it's time where you take holidays or breaks or feel a bit more distracted. But the moment the sun starts transiting over your sun, or even over your ascendant, you start feeling energized. You start coming out again of the funk, and you start getting new ideas. This is when God inspires us directly, brings us sudden flashes of inspirations. They can come to you from your mind, or they can come to you from some outer source, but this is when you have to take notes exactly what is coming, what ideas you're getting, because you get excited about those ideas as well. And you have to write them down, and if possible even start the first steps in that direction in May, around the time of your birthday, around the time the sun transits your ascendant. If you don't know, what degree your ascendant is, you can find it out from my birth chart calculator. But May is the time basically for new beginnings, and it always works like magic. You always get some new inspirations, and it's up to you to get active, and it's up to you to be as initiative as possible during this May month, because the planets will support you, and there are 3 planets in your sign. It's not only the sun. The sun revitalizes you, and you actually might start feeling this fresh new breath of ideas from the end of April with the new moon in Taurus, from around the 22nd of April, I think it was, but especially around your birthday. And you will be, if you haven't felt too good till then, believe me, things start improving after that. Even your health can start picking up. Sorry. And Venus is also transiting your sign Taurus, so you can be very charismatic in May. Till around the 25th, 26th of May, Venus is in your sign. And Venus is the planet of beauty, of charm, of diplomacy. So your best way, strategic way, is be initiative, but also win others through your diplomatic skill, through your charm. And you don't have to push like, angrily ahead, because you can meet a lot of resistance from others, but you can win their heart in the soft Venus way, in a charming Venus way, in a seductive way almost. And Venus is the planet of relationship and love, so it can also bring in more such pleasurable experiences into your life. If you're married, you can have more loving period with your spouse, more period of a deeper sensual connection. If you're single, you can go on a few good dates. Or you can experience Venus rules also sensual pleasures, good food, good clothes, sorry about that, good food, good clothes, pleasures of all sorts. You might feel like enjoying and pampering yourself more. And I've often noticed, especially women, but men as well, when Venus transits their sign, their sun sign or their ascendant or even their moon sign, they start taking better care of their physical appearance. Even I, who never go to spas or who never do my hair, or you can see it's always messy, and being an Aries, not being, but you Taurus is already, I'm sure you care about those things. And when Venus transits there, you will have those opportunities to take better care of your physical appearance, to improve your look somehow. I remember last time Venus transited my sign, I discovered a new way to put on makeup, and I was so excited, and I felt prettier since. It can be something stupid and silly as that, and it can be something bigger as well. But all these kind of experiences are around, And fun is also on the plate, because Venus is one of the planets of joy, of pleasure, of fun. And you have Mercury in your sign Taurus. But Mercury is moving backwards, so it's quite intensified. When Mercury is retrograde, its power becomes 2-3 times stronger. And Mercury retrograde, any retrograde planet tends to bring things from the past. And so something you have not completed can come to the past for you to take a look at it, or even to see it from a different perspective, Taurus. Some conversations that you have, that maybe you've buried at the back of your mind can come to the surface. Some communications with people you've forgotten, maybe friends, maybe lovers, that they can come to the surface, and you're going to have some intense and important conversations with such people. And some mistakes done in the past, some wrong words said in the past, some, you might have to have important conversations with others, not necessarily only lovers, but any kind of people around you, which make you reevaluate that relationship, make you reevaluate how you yourself are approaching those relationships and what you can change, because it's your own sign, what you can change within yourself, how you're approaching those relationships, whether business, personal, or any kind of casual relationships, how you are, or family relationship, how you are approaching them, so you can improve them. And a retrograde period sometimes can create certain problems because, you have to go, things can get more emotional, you have to go over things a few times, you have to make corrections in your own behavior, past mistakes and hurts can come to the surface, and you yourself might feel like you want to bring up things from the past with a partner or anyone around you in your communications and daily, exchanges. You want to bring those things to discuss them again. Maybe you haven't really settled the pain, or haven't really properly understood the meaning of those past events, or these past relationships, or these past communications, and you bring them again consciously, or they just pop in your mind and you start communicating about them and getting a different perspective on them. But because this Mercury retrograde is way more flowing, it has a lot of supportive aspects from Venus, from Jupiter, from Pluto, so it seems like through good communications you sort out everything. It doesn't have to be the breakup and end of certain relationships, and you're going to have a lot of support in that direction. And you can ask for counsel and advice for mentors and people with more experience than you, because they're supporting transits from Pluto to Mercury. Pluto is in 9th house of counsel, higher advice from someone. So such people can help you sort out any complications in communications that happen, any complications in relationships that happen. And again, always Mercury retrograde periods. And for you, I'm going to speak so much about Mercury retrograde because it's in your sign, Taurus. Many times people start ordering a lot of relationship horoscopes, and they call me and they say, oh, we're having a tough patch in our relationship when Mercury is retrograde. And that's because Mercury is it becomes an overflow. When it's retrograde, it becomes too intense, too powerful, it's too close to Earth. It's 3 times closer to Earth. So all such unspoken words or unspoken feelings that you haven't vocalized, that you haven't gone over before, they come to the surface, and you or partners or people in your life can now confront you, or you can confront them with what you really think, to express it. But the ultimate goal of this is to let go of this tension that you've been holding up, and to correct those mistakes. And by the end of the process, by June, you'll be able to have hopefully better working relationships with people, better after those communications and conversations, and better and more clarity and more smoother way of connecting to the world and with others, because Mercury is this planet of communication. And Mercury also rules our skills. So some of you might be called to brush up on some old skills, or to bring out from the bag of tricks skills that you haven't used for a while, and to put them to a lot of use. Because a retrograde planet, I remember when I had retrograde on my sign, Mercury retrograde in my sign, in my ascendant sign, I was really working hard on completing a project that I've been working on for a year. So I was kind of editing it, putting the final touches, using all my skills of marketing, managing, photoshopping, media, advertising, because Mercury rules all those skills: marketing, media, writing, speaking, advertising, basically all the bag of skills we've ever acquired. And when Mercury is retrograde, there are periods when we can be asked to put those to a lot of use, because retrograde planets require 3 times more efforts, but the results of those efforts are 3 times more beneficial in the long term, especially when the planet turns direct. So towards June, you're going to start seeing the results of that. And you're going to start those extra efforts and skills that you have to put, extra communication, extra knowledge, information, you will have to, you'd start seeing the results of that. Usually people, especially if you Taurus are working in some sphere that is Mercury ruled, it indicates that it will be a very busy period. You might have some frustrations because you have to correct things, go over them a few times, but by the end of the process, you have to be prepared for plan B, plan C as well. You might have envisioned the final project or the final result of some negotiations or business contractual relationship, which is again Mercury, some business transaction, some work in process. Mercury rules advertising, media, communications, writing, speaking, any administrative skills as well. So if you're working on any of such things, in May they might get too intense, requiring a lot of your attention, requiring a lot of your skills or editing, getting to the final touches, improving on them, and then probably changing them as well a lot. And the final project might be different than what you imagine, the final results, but believe me, it will be better, because Mercury retrograde gives you a different perspective, seeing things from another angle that you haven't noticed before. So those Mercury retrograde planets are very useful, and for you, it's all about Mercury retrograde this month, because it's in your sign, Taurus. Very useful, because after that you'll have a better working plan, better working project, better working relationships, all those things that Mercury rules. And Mercury naturally rules your second house, Taurus, because it rules Gemini. So you'll be also probably rethinking something about your finances, going over, trying to change it in some way. And if you happen to have, for example, Moon in Taurus, because this video is also for people with Moon in Taurus, you might be doing some changes in your home, having to remodel something. So of course, you need to put 3 times extra hard work. And or shifting something in the family dynamic, some emotional conversations that happen with your family and close ones, because the Moon rules those people, or something to do with property. Or if you're trying to sell property or buy property, you might have to, put extra efforts, and because it's also very likely you might be changing something in your home, seeing it from a different perspective. If you're trying to relocate, there might be slowing down of the process of relocating, or having some extra efforts there, things that you didn't notice that you have to do. Or if you're refurbishing, you have to go maybe redo it again. But the final project, again, I say, will be good. And if it's your sun that is in Taurus, you might have some very important, because the sun naturally rules one's career, one's goals, so you might have some very important communications with authority figures, because the sun also rules authority figures, reviewing of your career goals, reviewing of some career projects, reviewing of some plans, goals for the future, which is the sun very much. And again, I've always seen, when I've done business horoscopes, when Mercury goes retrograde over someone's sun, ascendant, or moon, these tend to be very intense periods of business work. Not the easiest, but intense, and the final result, again, can be much better than what was initially planned. But the process of the retrogradation can be a little bit frustrating. But again, as I said, this retro is easier because you receive support from Pluto, from Jupiter. Jupiter is helping Mercury from your 5th house, so your new creative ideas can help you sort out whatever such issues are. Your own inspiration and creative intelligence can also help you. And then another thing is Jupiter is turning direct in your 5th house. So if there were some blockages in your creative processes, some blockages if you have your personal business, the 5th house rules business, something that you're bringing up as your own child and baby nurturing, Jupiter starts from around the 9th of May, but give and take the middle of May for it to really start moving direct. There'll be kind of the wind starting to blow with you, behind you, to push you forward rather than against you in regards to creative projects, in regards to something to do with business if you have your own business, in regards to dating as well, because 5th house rules the dating process before marriage or before children, rules the lovers we have. the dating scene of a person, so things can start moving. If there was some complications, they can start getting untangled, and a process of, moving forward in a sense. And fifth house also rules your children. So if your children have been going through a period of where they had to solve some difficult problems, or where you are dealing with such issues with them yourself, you start seeing the end of those and things start moving ahead. Okay, so that's, there's a lot of earth energy, and the earth planets are supporting for you, Taurus. They're supporting for your goals, they're supporting for your plans overall. They're on your side. This is a very important month for you. Mars continues to be retrograde as well in your 8th house, so the whole of May, and that's kind of something to do with mutual resources, finances that you have to go over, that you have to reevaluate, redo, reassess in some way. Money that you share with partner, money that you expect from banks, or money that loans or something like that, inheritances, taxes of sorts that you might have to. There might be certain complications when the planet is moving backwards. It starts showing us the mistakes of something we didn't do right, so we can correct them. And then we have a much better result when Mars starts moving direct again. And also it might be reevaluating your sexual life, because Mars in the 8th house transit backwards can rule things about deep sexual experiences and intimacy, and seeing it from a different perspective, and deepening such possibly on a deeper level. But if complications appear, again, don't get disheartened. If complications appear in that area, you can solve that, and when the time Mars starts moving direct, you have a much better working sexual intimacy life. Okay, so that's generally what I see for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful for you, and thank you very much. And yeah, go forward. Check the details though, because Mercury is moving retrograde, but go forward, because it's time for new beginnings for you. Don't be afraid that Mercury is retrograde either, because, it just becomes more intense. You just have to put more extra efforts and pay more attention to the details. Thank you very much, and subscribe to my channel or follow me at Astrolada, my Facebook page, where I do weekly, daily horoscopes, and I write there a lot. Some of you might prefer to read rather than to hear horoscopes, and I have so many promotions for free horoscopes with me, for free readings with my psychic. So thank you, and I'll see you next month.